Alright everybody, this is the Mini Prepper again, and today we're going to do a review of this little guy right here. It is the Spyderco Delica 4. We'll run down some quick stats and do a size comparison, then we'll get on with the review. Alright, it is a VG10 steel. You have FRN handles, which is fiberglass reinforced nylon. You have a back lock. Full length of 7.125, blade length of 2.875. It's about 2.4 ounces, and a blade thickness of 0.09, and it is a full flat grind. Alright, so we're gonna, you know what, let's do size comparison. We have the steel wheel cut jack and the Ontario Rat 1, and we have the Sanran 7010. So you can see the blade length is pretty close to the Sanran there. Alright, so let's go over some of the things that are good about this knife, and really kind of the few bad things I think are kind of with this knife. And you know, some of the bad things really are kind of subjective, because it really kind of depends on the person. But let's start with the handles. So as I said, this is FRN, which is again fiberglass reinforced nylon. Now, really good thing with these handles, you know, they're really definitely durable handles, good strong handles. You know, you're really not going to have any type of major problems with these. Definitely good and strong. And what's really nice with Spyderco on these, they have the bidirectional texturing. You can see that here, it's split up by the Spidey logo. So on this side, these little squares ramp up on this side, but on this side of the logo, they come up that way. So it definitely gives you, you know, some really good grip in your hand when you're holding it. So no problems there. The only real problem with these FRN handles is a lot of people feel that, you know, they look a bit plasticky. They look kind of cheap. And, you know, they kind of do, but definitely, you know, FRN is actually very good handles. You actually, on the steel wheel cut jack, that's the same thing, FRN. And very good handles. So, you know, that's really kind of the only downside, though, of the FRN, is just people just think that they look a bit cheap and everything, and I get that, but they definitely are durable, and it's kind of nice, you know, the companies that do use these can really kind of mold these any way they want, and that's why they're able to do this bi-directional texturing, you know, with all these little squares on there and everything. But definitely good handles. It's just a matter of whether you like or don't mind that type of look. Also, these come in quite a variety of colors. I know you can get them in black and blue and a couple of different other colors. So, you know, there's definitely a color out there that can suit just about anybody's needs. Let's move on to the pocket clip. Definitely a good pocket clip. Like the way it's designed and everything. Fits in the pocket good. You know, no problem with it pulling up out of your pocket or anything. No matter whether you're, you know, bending down or anything like that. Sitting down, it's going to stay in your pocket. Really the only bad, you know, a couple of bad things, I guess, with the pocket clip. First off, it is not a deep carry pocket clip, which To me, it really doesn't matter. Doesn't bother me any. But some people really want, a deep carry pocket clip. They don't want, really this much of a knife hanging out of their pocket. And I get that, that's fine. But they do make aftermarket pocket clips. I do like the Spidey logo that's on there. So you can replace these, though, and go with a deep carry. And that kind of solves the problem with that. I don't know really what they cost. I'm sure you could probably get them maybe in a variety of colors. But this is still a very good pocket clip. The other problem with this pocket clip is it does scratch up easily. I've been really pretty careful with this one. I think I got like one scratch right up there, but other than that, this really hasn't quite seen a ton of pocket time from me, though. So I haven't scratched this one all up and everything. But what a lot of people do with them once they scratch them up is either they take them off, repaint them, or they just take the paint off. And then you have a, more satin type finish like the blade. So that's a couple of options that you can do with the pocket clip once it starts getting scratched up. You have Torx construction, so that's definitely a good thing. Although this is not an easy knife to take apart. If you're not good at taking knives apart, this isn't the one to try to start on. I would definitely go with, something a little easier that, you can learn how to take knives apart. Let's see, Lockback. Very good. Lockbacks have been used for a very long time, and there's a reason for it because they work very well. They are very strong. Now this one has that little cutout. I forget what that's called. It actually has a name. And what it's for is when you're bearing down on the knife, this part of your hand here, they have that cutout so it supposedly doesn't disengage the blade. Now, I've never had that happen on any knife that I've had that doesn't have that, but they have it on there, so that's, not a big deal. It's there. This does have nested liners. Let me maybe get my flashlight here. Maybe we'll be able to see it. Let's see. Yeah, it's still kind of hard to see, but you kind of see them in there. They are skeletonized to help bring down the weight. Otherwise, this would be quite a bit heavier. So it's good that they at least have the liners in there. Give it a lot more strength to this knife. Otherwise, you would just have the FRN and you'd be able to squash these handles and everything. So it's good that they've got the liners in there. One thing I forgot to talk about with the pocket clip was if you notice right here, right where it bends down there, is right on top of the Spidey logo, which, if you were to flip it over, which this is a 4-way pocket clip, so you have tip up, tip down, right and left side. So no matter where you put this pocket clip, it's going to end up right on that logo, which is really kind of nice because of that bidirectional texturing. Putting this in and out of the pocket, if it were on top of this, those squares there, it would start to chew up your jeans or whatever it is that you're wearing. So it's good that they positioned it, so no matter where it's at, it's going to be on top of that flat logo. So that's definitely a good design choice by Spyderco. Moving on to the blade. This is, try to get the light on there good, VG10. Made in, try to, Seki City, Japan. VG10, this is actually the only one I have in VG10. I've not had a problem with it yet. It's held an edge really pretty good. I haven't had to mess with this. Some people like it, some people don't like VG10. Again, this is the only one I have in it, but I've not had any issues with it. I do have a bunch of scratches on it here. That was kind of my own fault. Cleaning it off the one day, I used something a bit too abrasive, and now I got a bunch of scratches on my blade. But that's all right, because you want to know what this is, a user knife. And that's really the way I look at this knife. It's to be used. You know, it's not pocket jewelry. So I don't have an issue with this looking like that. Now, you can one-hand open and close this. As you saw, I just flicked it open and close it like that. Not great fidget factor, you know, not something like this. It's really nice to mess around with. You know, you're not going to quite do that as much with this knife. Definitely like the shape of the blade, the full flat grind. Definitely like how thin this is, really good for food prep. You know, really kind of nice with that full flat grind to be able to slice things, especially with the shape of this blade. Now you do have a little bit of belly up here with it. Nice spidey hole up here, nice good size. And you know what's nice with this is a fully ambidextrous knife. Opening and closing and pocket clip. Not a lot of knives can say that. You know, like the Ontario Rat knife, you have a 4-position pocket clip on this. You have the dual thumb studs, but you still have the liner lock, which is still geared towards a right-handed person, which is fine for me. I'm right-handed. Sorry, lefties. But, which my brother happens to be lefty, so I tend to make fun of him with that. But this one, you know, is great for lefties. Because, again, pocket clip, lock, and opening is all right or left-handed. So that makes this, you know, a really good knife for lefties. You have a nice thumb ramp here with some really good jimping up there. I mean, combined with the thumb ramp, you know, you really get your thumb locked in there really good. Once you lock your hand in, it isn't going anywhere. You know, wet or anything like that, it's not coming out of your hand. You're good. You still have a nice point on this blade, you know, if you have to stab with it. Not saying you should go and stab people with it, just saying you do have a nice point on there. The only thing I really don't like about this is there is no sharpening choil. I don't know why Spyderco continues to really not put a sharpening choil in there. Really would help when you do have to sharpen this thing to not have to, you know, when you try to get close to there, that kind of creates a bit of an issue. You also have here, it's really not a finger choil, but, you know, if you don't have sausage fingers, you'll be able to, you know, kind of get your thumb in there. Makes it a little bit easier for doing more fine detail work. All in all, you know, there is a reason that they say that this is one of the best EDC knives out there. And it really kind of is. You have pretty good package here. You've got pretty good steel, you know, good handles, good lockup, completely ambidextrous, pretty darn light, and not a bad price. You're looking at, you know, in general, probably about $65 for a Delica 4. So, you do have also, forgot about this, a little bit of jimping on the back here. I don't know if that really helps anything. I don't feel it really does, but it's there. Again, really, really good knife from Spyderco. It's It's been considered one of the best EDC knives out there for decades, really. And I think as long as they keep improving on this knife like they have over the years, this is going to continue to be really a great knife. Oh, lanyard hole. Forgot about that. You know, I really, I technically don't care too much about lanyard holes, but again, people do like putting lanyards on knives, and this one in particular. So you do have, it goes right through the pocket clip, which, didn't talk about that. You do have 3 screws on the pocket clip, so definitely, you know, that thing holds in place. It ain't going anywhere. All right, that's about it for the Spyderco Delica. I'd like to hear some of your thoughts on this knife if you happen to have it, maybe how long you've had it. I've only probably had this knife maybe about 6 months now, I think. But again, it only sees so much pocket time because, well, with the reviews, I'm trying to carry other knives so that then at least I can do some good reviews on them. But I'd like to hear from you guys down in the comments section. You know, if you have this knife, if you like it or not, if the steel is held up pretty good for you, because I do hear a bit of mixed comments on VG10. Again, I haven't had a problem with it, but some other people don't really like it. So I'd like to hear your thoughts on it. All right. Please hit the like button and subscribe, and I will see you on the next review.